Now, it's a business buzz phrase, hub and spoke, with the hub being the heart of operations, while distribution is delivered down the spokes. But can such a model provide life-saving ambulance services? East Midlands ambulance managers insist it can, and are introducing the system from next year. They want to shut 66 local ambulance stations and replace them with 13 purpose-built super hubs. Opponents warn it could mean more people dying. Our Midlands reporter Fatima Manji reports.
In an emergency, it is the sight and sound of salvation. But in North Nottinghamshire, they're afraid it's a sight that will become altogether less common, as this station is one of many marked for closure.
At the end of the day, when you call 999, you want an ambulance to be there within minutes. It's not about just keeping the station, it's about keeping the service. We're going to be a postcode lottery and life's going to be lost.
And so a group of local mums and dads have taken to the might of the megaphone. They call themselves the SOS protesters. Save our services.
I don't think we're being listened to, and I think it's the suited and booted public schoolboys that make these decisions. It's not frontline, and they haven't got a clue.
Across the East Midlands, proposed changes would see 66 local ambulance stations closed down. They'd be replaced by 13 so-called super hubs, larger stations offering more facilities but serving a larger area, and 118 community ambulance posts and standby points. Managers stress all these will be regularly used, but admit there's no guarantee there'll be an ambulance in any of them at any one time. It's this, say campaigners, that leaves people living in small towns and villages exposed. It's not just the East Midlands where things are changing. Across England, many ambulance trusts, including Yorkshire, West Midlands, North West and South East Coast, are considering or already implementing a similar plan. Some living in rural areas in the East Midlands say it already takes too long for ambulances to reach them. Sarah Gold was 8 months pregnant when she began bleeding heavily.
I was just panicking. It's horrible. It's just terrifying because there's nothing you can do.
A paramedic arrived in a fast response car within 15 minutes.
They said to us, "I'm useless to you," and he radioed through to the ambulance, and they said they were at junction 32 in Sheffield, which obviously we just thought, what? It's miles and miles away. We thought, why is it that far away? Surely there's one nearer. Well, no, that was the nearest ambulance.
That ambulance took 45 minutes to get to her. Sarah lost her baby. East Midlands Ambulance Trust say it was a tragic case, but in getting a paramedic to her, they did provide a good service. Yet they admit they're barely up to national standards.
The current response times aren't good enough. The evidence is there from other parts of this country and other countries that use the hub and spoke model. It provides faster response for patients, it provides better support for staff. Tens of thousands of patients get a faster response as a result of these changes.
And that's the point of the super hubs: more support, dedicated staff, service, clean and stock ambulances, freeing up more crews and paramedics for emergencies. It was neighbouring Staffordshire that first trialled the system in a simpler form around 15 years ago. Despite opposition then, managers say it's now working well.
And having extra staff to clean the ambulances so that they're ready for paramedics to pick up means paramedics can spend more time on the road.
Back in the East Midlands though, many paramedics as well as campaigners aren't convinced. If the local ambulance stations no longer exist, they fear more ambulances will be pulled into cities at the expense of rural communities.
Those individuals are already isolated as it is, so if vehicles are in the cities, there's going to be much more lengthy times to get to those people, and that has a massive impact on the type of care that they need.
East Midlands Ambulance Service say they are listening but insist no change is not an option. It's a predicament more and more ambulance services will face as they struggle to meet ever-decreasing resources, cope with increasing demand. Fatima Manji, Channel 4 News in the East Midlands.